Your next storyteller coming to the stage. Let's give a warm welcome for Patty McNamee Rosenberg, everybody.
So, I got married in 1990 to my best friend, Stan, and we were poster children for two worlds which have been colliding since Jesus, Jews and Catholics. And I know it's hard to know, but I'm the Catholic one, and we both came from really religiously challenged homes, which is pretty obvious because we married each other. However, I like to say that my dad was really close to Jesus, and Dad had 12 kids. Jesus had 12 apostles, and Jesus turned water into wine, and my dad thought wine was water. Yeah. And he stopped going to church when they wouldn't let him smoke in the vestibule anymore in the 60s. So I didn't have much religion. And so my mother-in-law, like Joan, she escaped from the Nazis. She's a Holocaust survivor. And she was really, really mad at God. So because of that, she became an atheist. And I don't quite understand how you can be mad at something you don't believe in, but she did. Yep. And so Stan and I look so much like our backgrounds that people would ask us like personal questions all the time. And we were real early, we were together, and someone said to me, how does your family feel about you marrying, a Jew? And I said, well, after all those South Side Chicago guys I brought home, they were happy this guy could read and write. And my real plan here was to always become a princess. And Stan I thought this Jewish American princess thing. And then he said, Patty, that's kind of a slur. And I said, oh, so instead I'm a trophy wife because Stan made trophies. He did. And so we raised our kids in this really nice, multicultural neighborhood that you can only get in if you're a combination plate, Oak Park, Illinois. And we raised our kids there, and then we went to the Unitarian Church, and Stan loved the Unitarian Church, and I hated it because, I don't like any guilt. I don't trust a church without guilt. It doesn't work for me. So it's 1993. I give birth to my second child, Jonathan. And about 10 minutes after the umbilical cord is cut, Stan is off to Las Vegas because he has to go to the annual trophy show. And so here I am that night, and I'm alone in the hospital in Chicago, by myself, and they bring in this big fancy meal with this wine. And they say, oh, where's your husband? And I say, he went off to Vegas. And I took the meal and I threw it in the garbage, and I sat there drinking wine watching Frasier, And all of a sudden, this man comes into the room, and he knocks and enters at the same time, and he's like staring at me, looking shocked. And he's really old, like older than this son. He's got a long white beard and this three-piece suit and a hat. And he looks and he goes, hi, I'm the hospital rabbi. I'm retired, but I visit Jewish families. And I look at him going, well, obviously, you're in the wrong place, buddy. And he goes, can I come and talk? And I said, well, I was raised by nuns, so you see clergy, you're nice to them. So he came in, and he sits next to me at the bed, and he starts talking to me, and he's talking on and on. I'm like, didn't stop. And then finally I realized he's telling the same story. And the story was how upset he was he wasn't upset, this woman who converted to Judaism, and how she was upset because her son could not be the Messiah. And I'm like going, I thought we had one of those. Oh no, you're still waiting. Oh my God. I said, oh my God, sir. I said, are you trying to tell me that my baby Jonathan is not the Messiah? And he looks and he goes, yes, ma'am. And he goes, goodbye, my child. And he pats me on the head and leaves. Suddenly I turn in the South Side Pat and go, listen, buddy, you didn't even meet my baby. How do you know? Listen, and and then meanwhile, my husband calls, Stan, and I'm hysterical. I'm hormonal. I'm totally full of hormones. I'm full of wine and painkillers, and I'm crying. And I'm going, Stan, why did you tell me Jonathan could have been the Messiah? I said, I want to keep his job options open. I said, I'm getting a second opinion. And Stan's like, calm down, Patty, calm down, Patty. Are you out of your mind? And I go, well, there was a rabbi in here. And he goes, it's okay. He's trying to, diffuse me. He goes, honey, I got an idea. Well, And he said, we can just change his name to Jesus, and then everything is taken care of. And so anyway, so he brings me down to earth, and now we're going to fast forward to Jonathan's 21. It's his birthday, and his baby Jonathan. And my husband, Stan, took them all to Vegas, him and his older brother, Matthew, did a fabulous time and really bonded, and it worked out because it was at the trophy time, the trophy show time, so that worked out. And then they come home, and they're all happy. And about 2 weeks later, I get this phone call from Stan's partner, Steve, and he says, Stan died suddenly of a heart attack. It was sudden, and we didn't expect it, and we were devastated. It's been 4 years now. I still think that it's my trophy wife joke that probably killed him. But anyway, so my boys are moving on. Matthew is studying to be a psychologist, surprise, surprise, Jewish doctor. And Jonathan actually is really good with the sick. He's a really good fisherman. He's kind of a carpenter. And, Matthew thinks that Jonathan walked on water, but I know that Jonathan wouldn't mess up any good wine. So, and in the end, I'm moving on, but I truly believe that the real Messiah is love, and it's bigger and bolder and better when two worlds collide to become one.